when we get together, our ideas just spiral and build on themselves so much.
We've talked a lot in the past about the benefits of collaborating on our authorship, and we are also now realizing a potential downfall to our collaboration or downside, and it relates to the way in which we have been going about figuring out a major plot point in our story.
And when we talk about a major plot point, we've talked about months ago finally figuring out what our overall storyline is. So the definition of a major plot point has changed. Some of the smaller pieces now have become major plot points.
Right. And the one we're specifically looking at right now is one that occurs pretty early on in the story. And there's, without going into spoilers, because this is not a spoiler video, but there's a disaster that the characters are trying to prevent or resolve. And we're realizing that in order to make that work the way we want it to, we need basically a shot-by-shot work through of what that is going to look like. There's a lot of questions that we need to answer. What is each character's role in this scene? Why is each individual character important?
Right, and during that scene, we want the reader to have a sense that this might not work.
Yes.
They might fail. And even if whether it succeeds or not, we want to give ourselves room to raise the stakes even more later in the book.
Because this isn't the climax right here. This is like chapter 6 or whatever. We can't have the climax that early on in the book.
So we need room to raise the stakes, leave something unresolved that carries over so that even after that major plot point is resolved, there's still something left undone, so that it's different from what I felt when I was reading I, Robot from Isaac Asimov. I learned later that it really was just a collection of loosely correlated short stories, and I felt something missing, and that was a tension, an unresolved issue that held on, that kept me wanting to read on. But because every short story resolved, I didn't have that. And I don't want the same thing with our story.
Right. And with all that being said about what we're dealing with, tying that back into the downside we're experiencing with collaboration, and that is we don't want to brainstorm these problems individually. All these questions that we have, we're finding that we think it's more valuable to brainstorm them together, and so we're just not doing it by ourselves.
And that's different from the kind of challenge that I thought we might face. And as I'm saying this, it might actually be related. I thought the challenge we would face is that we would each be so attached to our own ideas that when we finally came together, we would have a lot of conflict amongst ourselves, or between ourselves, there's only two of us, between ourselves, trying to figure out, well, but I'm so attached to my idea, you're so attached to your idea. It may be that our desire to prevent that kind of conflict may be contributing to our resistance to try to solve too much on our own, because we have seen so much how valuable it is when we get together, our ideas just spiral and build on themselves so much.
And I wonder how much we need to be willing to make progress that may not be entirely in the right direction on our own, and so that way when we come together we actually have something to build off of, but also being willing to reject it and not build on it at all.
Yeah, take the benefit of collaboration and be willing to accept some of the downfall, but hopefully a different one.
Right. With all that being said, those are the challenges we are facing with collaboration and how we work together. What are some of the challenges as well as the benefits of collaboration in your journey? Whether that's your writing journey or some other journey that you're on, what are the benefits and challenges that you face? Let us know in the comments, and we will see you next week.